Thank you guys for coming out. It's been a really good journey thus far for us, in this season. And a lot of times people want to just equate your success with wins and losses, but for us, we're really enjoying the journey. And watching these young kids come together in such a short time has been one of the joys of my career, because we put this group together and we did it by design. We wanted to make sure we get good basketball players. We wanted to get good people who are willing to go out and sacrifice a little bit of themselves for the betterment of the team. And they've done so, and I've been very pleased with them, the way that they've been performing. And obviously, the record is good, 16-1, 5-0 in the conference. But we're just taking it day by day. And when we take that approach, I think good things really happen. And then you're really able to dive in and just, understand, what these kids are able to do and capable of doing. So it's been a good start for us so far, and I'm very pleased with it. And we're looking forward to what happens coming up for the rest of the season.
Both Tiani and Coach are available for questions. We'll get started with Caroline.
Coach, we've seen Clara get in the game, Cassidy, Sanaya Moore. What's your take on the depth at this point?
They're getting better. They're getting better. We need them to be a little bit more consistent collectively. It just seems like one will play better than the other. But if we get them all on the same page and getting better, it provides depth for us that we desperately need. Particularly ST has done a really good job as of late coming in and really giving us a spark. So I've been very pleased with her. Just need a little bit more consistency. Clara is adapting every day, which is understandable. Everybody going through it for the first time is going to be an adjustment. And so very pleased. She had a really good week of practice last week. But we need her to be more consistent, more aggressive for us during the course of games. But I am pleased with their progress. They are a lot better now than they were probably in December and November. And hopefully they'll continue to get better.
Coach, you mentioned the other night after the Georgia game that your team is continuing to grow up and improve and be better than they were months before. So I assume it's safe to say that you guys' best basketball is still ahead of you. And what are some of those areas you look to improve in?
We think so. The chemistry that they developed, a lot of it has to do with your leadership, and Georgia does a tremendous job of pretty much translating what I'm saying, what I want from the floor, and I'm assuming she takes it to the locker room. And there's just an understanding of what's needed and what's expected of this group. But like I mentioned before, we have great kids, and they're all willing to be led and then also to lead in their own way. And they all do it. It's a collective unit doing it. It's not just one person. Georgia is probably the vocal part and understanding what I want. But then you have Clara Strack, who understands what I want. You have Tiani, who in her way, Tiani's our swag. She's our enforcer. And when Tiani comes in and she's going to take up for anybody, she's going to be our swag. The kids follow that. All the way down to Deja Lawrence, who's going to be a CEO of some company in about 10 years. So collectively they all do it in a way that it's not just one person, so it's like a big unit. And that's why I think that we have such great chemistry.
Forrest.
Tiani, for you right here in the back on your left, I think. When you think about the backcourt success so far this season, you, Amelia, and Clara Strack, how do you feel like that's all come together? Where do you guys feel like you can improve as well?
I think it's come together very well. It's been coming together since we all got here, just building our chemistry off the court. I think that translates very well on the court, just knowing we have each other's back in any given circumstance, being that we can switch and do a lot of the same things, just being there for one another. If one gets beat or something, like someone will be there to block a shot or get a rebound and stuff like that. Obviously, I think getting better is something that never stops for us. So, like Coach said, every day we just come and try to grow, get better, and be there for each other every step of the way.
Do you like being the swag, and what does that mean exactly to you?
Yeah, I guess it's cool. I think we all bring our own different type of swag for sure. But it's very fun just playing with this group, being able to bring something different, which we all do, so it's super fun.
What did it mean to have other coaches, the high school coaches here, just to hear about this 250 basketball week?
It's really good. For me, it's welcoming, and I'm learning. I'm learning. So every time a coach comes up to me, it's something that's totally new for me, and it's exciting, and I want to get to do more. And obviously, when you first get here, my first goal was just to try to be able to get to the gym without using a GPS. And I've mastered that and trying to figure out which way is the quickest. Don't go down Tate's Creek or Nicholasville Road trying to get to work quickly. But then you get engulfed into your season. And what I'm looking forward to in the spring, summer is really getting out and just seeing other coaches and what they do and how they do it. And I always talk about some of the best coaches are AAU coaches or they're high school coaches. Just because you coach at the Division I level doesn't mean that you're a better coach. It's just a path that you took. So for me, it's really fun to go watch and see what other people do. Whether it's high school, whether it's a middle school, how they conduct a practice. And you can pull stuff from that all the time because Dr. Naismith is the only person who invented basketball. Everybody else is just copying and pasting and stealing a little bit from here or there. And so I have tremendous respect for any coach at any level and how they run their program, and you can always learn from anybody. So I'm always willing to listen, learn, go out and watch. And so I'm looking forward to just really getting engulfed into the community, the basketball community, learning, whether it's over at Transy or, high school or middle school. We're looking forward to building that relationship with all sorts of programs. And so it's exciting for me that everybody was under one building. I shook a lot of hands today, and I'm looking forward to learning names next time. And I think it's a really great thing that the city is putting on.
Carolyn?
Coach, I think it was last week you touched on Jordan Obie on your radio show. Can you provide a little bit more?
Yeah, she's moving now. Yeah, she's out there, and she looks really good. She looks really good. It's a tease, it's a tease. But obviously, we're excited for her progression because it was devastating for her when she got injured. You can see it all over her face. She came here to play for Kentucky, but she's been exceptional as far as staying engaged with the team, planning her, inspirations throughout the team, but just her touch on everything. We've kept her involved, so that she's watching every practice. She's involved in film sessions where I'm asking her questions from an outside perspective. What did you see? And then we probably the last week or so we got to see her move around a little bit. But as far as her her future, we're going to take it slow. We're not going to do anything to rush that situation, and we're going to do what's best for her. Even though it's very tempting, and you really need that. But she's a special player. She really is. She's a lot. She goes very well with what the other players do. It's great chemistry.
Coach, to bring it kind of back to basketball, we talked a little bit about, you've been here almost a year now, just talking about kind of the culture here in Kentucky, Lexington compared to maybe some of your previous stops in Harrisonburg and Blacksburg.
Yeah, everywhere's different. Obviously, every fan base thinks that they're the best fan base, but here it's different. They're very knowledgeable fans. They do a great job of recognizing you no matter how many disguises you have on, and but they're very polite. Very polite. They'll wait till I finish eating, and then they'll come up to me and they'll talk to me, which is wonderful. But it's just the way that they support is a little bit different. We've gone on the road, I don't know how many games, but there's a strong contingency of Big Blue Nation, everywhere we've gone. We went to Georgia, and right behind our bench it was just all blue. And we went to Vandy, it was all blue. And so that amount of support, I've always said, can make a good team great. And we understand that, and you look at Memorial and the way they've been coming out to Memorial, and I hope they continue to come out. It's just a great atmosphere for women's basketball. And been very, very, Big Blue Nation has been as advertised, and that's one of the reasons why I came here, is because of the strong fan base, the ability to make a good team great, and then you can go and you can contend for a lot of great things.
Final questions?
Talk about Texas A&M.
I have no idea. Mondays are my day to recharge and to dive into what we need to do. We haven't even watched film yet of Georgia, and we'll watch Georgia put that When I say Georgia, it's so confusing because I'm always like, okay, are y'all talking about Georgia or are you talking about Georgia? And but we'll watch film of that. We always make sure we do that, and then we'll start on Texas A&M today at practice. But every game in the SEC is going to be a battle. We understand that. We take no team lightly. Take them one at a time. Where we're trying to get to and what we want to get to. You can't have any slip ups, so you got to look at every team. And Texas A&M, I know they won their last game against Georgia. And so they're going to come out ready, be confident, and we just have to make sure we understand it. They do a tremendous job of handling it like a business trip. We go down and we prepare, they're prepared, and we go out and we played well so far. So we need to continue that.
Caroline Barron.
Coach, did you catch any of the Coretta Scott King Classic yesterday, and would you guys be open to participating in any sort of like in-season showcase like that?
Yeah, I mean, we get overtures from people wanting us to be there, and that's a good thing because the brand is very strong, and we're a pretty good basketball team, and I think people are reaching out to us. There's so many variables going on right now, whether how many games we're going to be playing in the SEC and things like that. But it is something. It's something like that. Obviously, that type of game means a lot to me. I'm sure it does to Tiani as well, and to a lot of people on our team. And anytime you can go out and you can represent in a fashion like that, we will definitely look at it. And but I think it was great. The second game wasn't too good, but it was a great. It was a good cause, and that's definitely something that we'll look at.
Tiani, I got a question for you, and Coach, you can weigh in too if you want, but there's been times in games, situations where you've had to bring the ball up the court yourself. I just wonder how much fun you have getting to do that against defenses and being able to go coast to coast on an inbounds play.
Oh yeah, it's super fun. Just being able to play freely, play my game, and within his system, it just allows us to all just thrive. So it's super fun, and I like it.
For me, I've known her since she was about 11 years old, and she turned me down once. and obviously you watch her play, and you know the things she's capable of. And when she came here for us, I really wasn't that familiar with her game because I only saw what I saw. And within a week, we were all blown away with the things that she could do. And she wasn't really comfortable doing them. She was dribbling the basketball, and we were like, she can dribble. She's a very smart basketball player. She's probably learned more plays this year than
Still learning.
And she's still learning, but she does a tremendous job at it. And so she's been a blessing for us. I've never had a player like her. She's like a unicorn. The way that she can play, she can defend. All three of them, the front court, they go out and we call them the triplets. And, it's been fun watching them grow together. We'll talk about a play and defensively how we're going to handle it, and I'll see them huddled up and they're talking amongst each other, and I just let them talk, and all of a sudden they figured it out. And when you have a team that can do that on the court without you instructing them or instructing every move that they make, then that's when you become a pretty good basketball team. And even during the course of a game, I can see them make a mistake, and then quickly they'll look at each other and talk about it, and it usually doesn't happen twice. And that's just the growth. And I joke about it all the time, and I say she's the key, pun intended, to us, because when she plays and stays out of foul trouble, then we can do a lot of wonderful things. We really can. And when she's not in the game, it kind of takes us out of rhythm a little bit. But I'm so excited, what she's been able to do while she's been here. She's happy. She's my brother's second favorite player behind Gabby, my daughter. And after every game, he just texts me number 7. He loves her. He got to meet her last week, and he was starstruck, But she's very special to us, and I think the best is yet to come, because I think she's starting to get comfortable with how good she is and how good she can be. And we've never put restrictions on her. And we encourage her to shoot. We encourage her to dribble the basketball to the floor. We encourage her to do everything that she's capable of doing. And I think she's flourishing in our system. I think she's going to continue to get better.
Awesome. Thank you all. Well, our next home game is Sunday at noon against our